my build. Today we will be building the second house in Willow Creek that I am in a series in which I am building Willow Creek from scratch, which is quite the task. In terms of Willow Creek, I'm really not intimidated by it, but it has two lots that scare me, and that's Magnolia Park and then I forgot the name of it, but that big mansion lot. I think it might be 50 by 50 or like 50 by 40. I'm not sure, but oh my goodness, I am so scared for that. I'm so intimidated. Okay, so let's get into this build before I forget what I'm talking about. For this build, I decided to build another, well, I already said this in my previous video, but all the houses in Willow Creek are going to be inspired by New Orleans. So this is another New Orleans house, and I wanted to still kind of keep the same St. Charles Avenue essence that it has, but I wanted to make this one a little bit more cute and a bit more cozy as opposed to fancy. So for the people who live here, I was planning for them to be like a cute little couple or something like that, because I'm a massive romanticist and I can't help myself. If there is an opportunity, I will take it. It has to be a cute storyline. That's what I want in life. Okay, let's see what we're doing here. Oh, okay, so the layout for this house was a little bit difficult for me because I was worried that just having an L shape would make it kind of boring, but then later on I decided to expand on it a bit so that it wouldn't look so boxy, and that's always a challenge for me because I know how to avoid something looking boxy, but making it look right is like a whole different problem, like in and of itself. But I think I did pretty good with this one. I like the way it turned out. I was quite worried throughout the build that it would kind of suck, if I was being completely honest, but if it did suck, I wouldn't have uploaded this video because, you know, I am a perfectionist and I'm not going to put out subpar content. So, yep. I like the way this turned out and I thought it was pretty cute. I knew that because it was a smaller lot, I would have to do something to really step up my game to make it look extra and to make sure it looked like it belonged in that rich neighborhood. So I went with the concept of like a really cute garden. I'm saying the word cute a lot. I realize this, sorry. A pretty garden. And I know like less rich communities can still have really pretty gardens, but I feel like the difference between this house, well, this house's garden and other gardens is that it has a lot more like plants and greenery. So it's like, you know, they can afford extra plants and stuff like that to make it extra fancy. Like that's not a problem for them because they're hella rich. Well, I suppose not really. Kinda. So for my idea of this couple involves them. I realize that I do this a lot in my kind of stories, but I just like it. I want them to be regular, down to earth, you know, just working class people, but they have worked hard and they have earned this house. So that's their kind of plot. But when I was like thinking about the family that lives here, there was some negative aspects to them, and that is that they're such hard workers that they don't have like a ton of time to see each other. So if I did a let's play with them, I think a goal there would be to make sure that they can work on that and they make an effort to be closer to each other, because I think that's cute. Sorry, it's hard. I find these hard not to lose my train of thought because I already like heavily suspect I have ADHD and I'm trying to get help with that. So like I know that I can go on tangents and stuff like that quite a lot, but there's not much I can do to stop that. You'll just have to put up with my tangents. Okay. I'm just trying to think. I was quite worried about how this house would turn out, because there was a couple of times when I was building it that I thought it might end up subpar, but I was determined to keep going and see if I could fix it before giving up. And those aspects were the little, I'm gonna make like a little cubby next to the stairs. That was one aspect that was really challenging for me, as well as the bedroom. And I could not, for the life of me, find a color swatch that matched the wallpaper, and it was driving up the wall. So you might see me like keep replacing the colors on that like a million times, but that's not a me problem. That's a Sims problem. The swatch thing, I could go on for hours about that. That bothers me most. I think that's the number one thing that bothers me about this game. The swatches. They are getting better, and I don't want to diss, because I believe that a lot of things that we're asking for, I believe we'll get them in time. It's just a matter of waiting, because we didn't think we'd get toddlers, and we did end up getting them. And the way they spoke about it in a way that implied that it wouldn't be possible, and they did that with terrain editing as well. So if we go on past, track records, not even if they say something isn't very possible, that's not necessarily the truth, and they usually find a way to go around it. So I'm not gonna be, I'm really not really, like negative when it comes to The Sims. I'm not like kind of person to go on and complain about this and that. But yeah, swatches aren't making me very happy, especially as an artist, because that's what I do in my free time. So I'm not happy about the colors. But I believe, I have hope that we will get better colors in the future. Even just like plain paint walls. Like, I feel like we don't have enough of those either. I get that we do have like 30 colors, but it's still not enough. And it'd be so easy for them to implement it, because there's no textures on that one. It's just like a plain wall. Yeah, I'm gonna hang in there. That implies that I'm struggling. It's a game. I need to get over that. This house was kind of challenging interior-wise, because I had a rough idea of what I wanted them as people to be into, but like actually bringing what was in my head to reality was quite difficult. Oh, I know I wanted them to be like hipster really is not the word I'm looking for, but do you know what I mean? Like maybe boho, or I don't know. No, I feel like none of those words are accurate, but just kind of, they don't fit in like a regular box. That's what I would say. They don't really tick any box. They like having a wholesome house. They don't really care what's in it as long as it's wholesome. So yeah, it's almost cabiny, I do notice, but I did end up changing the wallpaper because that didn't reflect who I believe the characters would be that much. Again, the bedroom though gave me a really hard time, and I redid it quite a few times, but that was for the best. I definitely could have just left it the way it was, because it was too subpar for my taste. You might notice there's a little shelf in the kitchen that's above the bin, but I did remove the third one because I thought it was a bit too much. if I left those shelves empty, but when I was playtesting it and adding extra things, I did add some clutter to those shelves, you know, to make it look lived in and stuff. I was quite happy with the way the garden turned out. It was my idea for it was to be quite cozy, and based on the kind of people they are, I feel like they work hard all day, but then when they get home, they get to spend, like, you know, nice cozy time with each other. I'm using the word cozy a lot, but I can't really think of any other word. They like to spend time with each other and relax and wind down in their cute little house with their cute little garden. That was my idea for them. So I feel like the garden, you know, it did its part in representing its owners. I've been doing this thing where I now like line up the plants so that I can then, you know, copy and paste them, which I never used to do. Oh, pardon me. But I saw a couple of people do it in other like speed builds and stuff, and I was like, that is genius. So I've been using that from the moment I saw that, and I love it. It's very handy. Which I can't believe I didn't think of it sooner. I feel kind of ashamed. I've been playing for 6 years and that never occurred to me. Yikes. Oh yeah, I had to move this bit back because there was not enough, you know, real estate for me to work with. But I wanted to like paint a cute little path so that I could put in a fountain and just give them somewhere to sit out in the morning stuff before they go to work. At least that's the way I imagine it anyway. Again, it is challenging only using base game, because there were a lot of other packs that I think would have gone perfectly with them. I think I could have used some stuff from Tiny Living. And let me think, what else? There's so many packs. Some stuff from Get Together would have suited their house, for sure. Honestly, I'm really excited to, like, once I've finished building Willow Creek, I'll go on to building the other world, and I'm really excited to, like, unlock those packs, because I do have those packs, a lot of packs already, but I've disabled them for this one. So I feel like it will feel like I've earned it, which is fun to me. It's like I've given myself this challenge, and then by the end I will get a reward by gaining access to all the packs that I wasn't allowed to use. It's interesting to know which ones I miss the most, though. That makes me appreciate them more. A lot of stuff from Get Together, you don't really appreciate it until it's gone, and then you're like, oh, where's that? I need that, and it's gone. It's not there. I like that one, and like, I have this really, really bad habit of buying games and then not playing them for even like sometimes it can be like years before I touch the game that I bought, which is terrible. But that also applies to stuff packs and things like that. So a lot of DLC for the Sims that I own, I have barely played in. Like I've used objects because I build all the time, but I've not played anything. So I'm really excited to open up this YouTube channel and you know, complete this challenge and then go on to maybe actually playing with the families. That's really exciting for me. And like my idea is to do Let's Plays, and I can sort of do a similar thing where like how I'm building each house from scratch. For every game pack, I'll select one character and then I'll play as them, and we'll take it through whatever career is available through that pack, because I probably haven't played it. It's all completely new to me, even though I've already got it. So that's fun. Like, I haven't played Get Together, but I use the stuff all the time. which feels terrible when I think about it, because Get Together came out so long ago now. I just haven't touched it. Man, this is making me feel guilty. I like building. Oh, I'm sorry if I'm like a little bit sleepy. It's getting late and I'm quite tired. Also, I really hurt my neck and I have no idea how. I think it was just a weird way that I was sitting. Because I have a bad tendency to sit in really stupid positions and then later on complain that I have a sore back and that I don't know why. Honestly, I'm like a Pikachu meme. That's my everyday. Also forgetting to eat breakfast and then wondering why I'm so hungry. The landscaping, honestly I can't say I enjoy landscaping, but I do put a ton of effort into it. But once it's done, it feels super rewarding. I don't know, it's weird talking about myself because I don't know much about myself, if that makes sense. I don't know what my strengths and weaknesses are that much. I can briefly say, I can tell you what I find difficult or what things I do that often turn out subpar, but I don't know what my strengths are, you know? But if landscaping is a strength for me, then on the record, it's not fun for me. Sometimes I hate it, sometimes I'm neutral on it. I don't really care, but I never love it. Landscaping is not fun. Always worth a payoff though. Wondering like what tips I could maybe share. I'd say terrain paint is like a way bigger factor than you think it is. A lot of my old builds barely include them, but now like I refuse to leave a build unless it's been terrain painted, because it's not finished to me then. Like it just adds that extra polish. And it adds depth as well. So a lot of times I am viewing it from the lens of what I do in my spare time, which is I'm an artist. So like I view the game through those lenses a lot. That's what goes into consideration. Sorry, I got distracted by a noise that I'm hearing in my house right now. Oh, okay. I'm gonna get back to where I was at. I'm so easily distracted, it's terrible. Oh yeah, okay. So I view things from the lens of an artist, and that's what goes into consideration when I create things. And a lot of that includes shading, right? So if I see that, what do you call it, the path that I put in front of their house, if I had just left that part without the mud at the side or the dirt, that wouldn't have looked as good, because it doesn't look like the path is actually there, if that makes sense. It looks like it's been applied, but it doesn't look natural, like it's actually in that environment. So the way you can make it look like it's actually in that environment is by using shading and stuff like that. You can even take it further by like having a light mud color and then a dark mud color. That takes it the extra level when you really want to add depth to something. I really like these little chairs that I'm putting out front. I'm so jealous. Honestly, whenever I'm doing a build for my Sims, I'm just a ball of jealousy. Can you imagine what it'd be like to wake up on a really hot summer's day and just sit out with a coffee or something? Ugh. So damn jealous. I'm not sure if that rug made sense there, but I didn't see why not in the end. I gave it some extra thought, and yeah, I think it does make sense. Like, people have outdoor furniture and they put like pillows on it, so outdoor rug for your porch. The lighting on this build wasn't like good, so it was hard for me to take a lot of screenshots at the end. Which is weird because I don't think it would look that different from the first build, but when I like zoomed out and I compared, and like both buildings were in shot, the way it affected the two buildings were like completely different from each other. That sucks. Oh yeah, if you see me entering like cheat codes like multiple times, it's because I've taken a break and then I've come back. So at some point this build, the speed build stopped, and I probably saved and quit and then came back. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say there. Yeah. A lot of times my breaks are pretty big and I don't want to put too much of a strain on my laptop or like contribute to it overheating, so I just turn it off whilst I take a break. So that's why I have to like completely re-enter the same cheat code, which is a little bit annoying to be honest. I'm not sure if I went overboard with those plants, but I ended up giving, is that right? No, placing. I ended up placing some extra ones after I'd finished recording. And I know that brown might be kind of odd to you, but because I know color theory, I can explain to you why I chose that. The brown on the chairs up front, I selected it because it had the green pillows so that matched the rest of the house, but it has like an orange to it, and it's almost like it leans more into yellow than it leans more into red. No, sorry, it leans more to red than it leans into yellow, so that's why I selected it, because green's complementary color is red. So yeah, that's why it still looks okay, even though it doesn't entirely match because there isn't more brown. But I suppose it does match all the trees and stuff, which is quite nice. I really hated that bedroom when I first started it. Like a ton. But I retried it and then it ended up being better, so I'm okay with it. The bathroom sucked quite a bit as well, actually. But again, when I'm dissing myself here, it will never be for the actual final build because I'm proud of what I put out, otherwise I don't put it out. So if I diss it, it's because it gets changed later and it doesn't suck. I ended up using like a street, I forgot what that one's called. Side something. I cannot for the life of me remember the name of it. Sidewalk. On the sidewalk. We do say sidewalk in the UK, but a lot of times we'll probably just say street or pavement. So yeah, I don't know. It's not really like frequently used in my brain, so I totally forgot the word for it. But I didn't think that would end up looking. I'd never used that in the bathroom before, but it did end up looking okay. I think it looked okay. I think the interior of this build won't necessarily be for everyone, but I think it's good to make sure you spice things up a bit. Because if you have every single build the way you would have it in real life, you're just gonna end up having every single house looking the exact same. So you should try to go for things that you wouldn't like, yourself, that you would really live in. There are a lot of styles that I don't like in real life, but in The Sims I usually go for it. I suppose it gives me an appreciation for it. Like, I don't like it myself, but I why other people like it. Like boho kind of styles really isn't my thing. When I build it in The Sims, I'm quite happy with it. I guess it's like, I say this with clothes as well actually. There are a lot of things I would never ever wear, but like seeing it on other people, I can still appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I was really struggling here because I was trying to raise that object so I could put it on the fireplace with Alt, but like the camera kept switching when I was pressing one of the buttons for it, so I couldn't do that. Anyway, back to the clothing thing. I see people wear like mustard colored, and I cannot even imagine how terrible it would look on me. But I really like it on other people. I think it's cute. Especially on like different skin tones. Like, because I'm white, but I'm quarter Egyptian, so like I have a little olive tone to me. So like there are a lot of colors that I don't feel comfortable with because it looks kind of weird with my skin color, but like on other people it's gorgeous. And oh my goodness, like yellow on black people is like the prettiest combination ever. It just goes so well with their skin. Oh, I'm so jelly. Black people and Indian people, those yellows work so well with their skin tones. I have a serious appreciation for that. I'm trying to think of what colors suit my skin, but I've not really figured out any that look that nice with my skin color, but I know which don't look good with me. And that includes like yellow and red. I was thinking about it the other day, and I don't own a single piece of red clothing. Like, none. At all. I don't even hate the color. I hate the color blue, which whenever I say that, people don't like. But it is not my jam. I really like color green. I remember in high school there were stupid little arguments about that. I still remember like exactly how it went, and I was debating how green was ultimately the best color, and my reasoning for this was because green is the color of nature. We have plants and trees and bushes and flowers, and they're all green, so therefore green is the best color. If I was to argue that again, I don't think that's where I'd start. I'd probably start with something a little bit more logical. Because actually, I can tell you a little fact about color green, because it is my favorite color. I'll say that a million times because it is. It deserves more appreciation. Green has been scientifically proven to reduce blood pressure levels, which is one of the main reasons you can find it in hospitals. I haven't seen any green in hospitals here though, not where I live. They're all like blue. I should send in a letter of complaint. It does actually happen with blue as well, but green was found to be the most effective color. And ones that do the opposite of that are colors like red. You know, very passionate colors. I think it had something to do with how the brain perceives it naturally. Like red is the color of blood and stuff like that, which is alarming to human brains, whereas green is the color of nature, which is totally harmless and peaceful. It did make me wonder why there isn't more green in hospitals then. I know that it's in some places, different hospitals have different color schemes and stuff, but all the ones I've ever been to have only been blue. We should maybe consider that. I'm trying to think of what else. What else do I know about the color green? Oh, actually, I do know something else. This was horrible for me to learn because I have arachnophobia, which is phobia of spiders. But green attracts spiders, which I wish I'd known before I painted my bedroom wall. No regrets, so it's really pretty. So, oh, we're finished. That's looked quite quick, actually. I hope you liked the build. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my rambling and that you learned something today. Like how green is the best color. Yeah, anyway, I hope you have a really sweet day and that you appreciate green more now. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you liked it and comment if you have anything to say at all. Given it isn't mean, please. You can give me feedback as well if you'd like. I always like to get better at things, so I would appreciate that. And yeah, and maybe share it with your friends if you know they would appreciate that. Thank you for watching. Bye!